Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I am our banner pilot, and this is part 4, I think, of Postal. So, without further ado, let's jump on in. This week has been a lovely Thanksgiving weekend. Which one of these was it? Oh yeah, it was this one. The farm, 10/20/97. Feathers will fly, but big birds won't. They will, however, be going south this winter, far south. Sounds fun. But yeah, very suiting too. Good old, let's make a Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah, happy belated Thanksgiving. For any of you who are animal lovers, you may want to skip this level, or I guess skip the video. But it's all in good humor, like I said. So, but yeah, happy belated Thanksgiving. It has been a very good weekend. I've had plenty of time to just recoup after a long work week. Or a long work month, I should say, just with the extra months. I'm gonna turn down the volume, because I don't know, it's very distracting. But yeah, not the volume on the video, just turning down the volume on my headset. It's kind of distracting. They look like they have human legs. Anyway, but yeah. Definitely a weekend I needed. 4 days off. Couldn't be any better. Nice little relaxing time away from $50,000 parts that I won't be potentially breaking anytime this weekend. Till I go back Monday, but all good things must come to an end eventually. So. But for now, we got ourselves some crazy stuff going on in there. Like I said, you don't have to kill these guys. It's kind of just a 100% completion thing. I like to do it because, like I said, 100% completion is kind of the way I roll. I, for one, find it a little more appealing, I guess, and all that, so... one sec. Okay, cool. I wanted to make sure that the audio from the game is still going on and stuff. I apologize if he says something funny and I don't comment on it. This game is, like, super loud in your headset, and I haven't found a way to, like quiet it down without having to mess up the audio on your guys' end. So, yeah, if he says something funny, cool. If not, I'm not too worried. Oh wow, we're already done. Man, that was quick. On the plus side, though, there's ammo and stuff around here, so might as well do a little bit of exploring. But yeah, this week has been great. Short week at work, weekend off, 4-day weekend off, and then of course it's turkey week, so got to chill at home, hang with the family and stuff, eat a fantastic dinner. Yeah, it was a great time.
The gun knows.
And I hope that you guys that watch this had a decent Thanksgiving as well. Yeah. Alright, I think that's all that's in this level, so we'll go ahead and skip to the next. The construction site. Blood splinters everywhere, like a river flowing around me, pulling me in its wake. Paradise. Prepare for deconstruction. Paradise is the city that he's in right now, or the town that he lives in, which this game takes place in. This level's a little bit difficult. There's quite a few hostiles here. It's also just a really spacious area, as far as I'm aware. It's also really open too, so there's a lot of places where you can just get hit by cops and stuff, or whatever may be shooting at you. I don't know if they're all cops. A majority, so. But yeah, same rules as before, just kind of mow things down. That's pretty much the gist of this whole game. You enter an area, you clear out the hostiles, and then you do the exact same thing in the next area. Straightforward game. If it were Postal 2, I'd have a little more to say about it. But again, this game is pretty simple. You know, there's not really a whole lot going for it. The story is kind of neat, I guess. I'll go into more detail on that when we beat the game, or maybe on the playthrough of Postal Redux if I get to that, because I feel like that explains the story a little bit better. The only problem is it changes the ending, so I'll explain the ending. I'll go ahead and explain the entire story when we get to the end, actually, because yeah, it's something. Definitely a creepy story, that's for sure. But yeah, around here, it's just a construction site, a lot of unbuilt houses and stuff. You can hide in them. I gotta throw them all over the place. You can hide in the buildings and stuff. I think you can get shot through them, so they're not very good for cover, I guess. But if you're trying to like block grenades and stuff like that, it's not too bad. And don't worry about flames or whatever. The buildings are all pretty much static images, so everything's fire resistant. So all you gotta worry about is bullets flying through the walls and stuff, or flying through the holes in the wall. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't work like that. Oh no, it does work like that. So yeah, the bullets will go straight through. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, we got 8 hostiles left. Something like that. Yeah, there's a guy down there.
Well, you think you're pretty tough, man.
The detail in the artwork for these levels and stuff, you know, as simplistic as the game is, the artwork and stuff is pretty cool. I really like it. It's still got that. It feels familiar, but just the dark color of it all and stuff like that, it definitely amplifies just how dark the tone of the game is and stuff. Clearly, it's either a nighttime level, or there's like clouds and stuff that are just taking over the day. Excuse me. Little barrel here. You would think they'd add more like Easter eggs and stuff. Like if you shoot a certain thing, it does a special thing or something like that. But they didn't really do much with that. It says there's... Oh, okay. So we just beat the level. Again, not too long, not too crazy. We'll go ahead and go to the next one, the Ghetto. 10/20/97. Black leather smoke coils up my nostrils, tingling with death's surprise. Human remnants cling to my clothing like bloody briars as I continue to wade, hip deep in flesh, bone and viscera. Bad neighborhood coming up. I don't know how true that is. I mean, it looks pretty run down. But, yep, this is the Ghetto. Again, pretty straightforward. There's a couple unarmed people here, so if you're going through the game not wanting to 100% it, just keep that in mind. There are a couple unarmed people in this area, so. I really need to get back to Silent Hill. That's definitely a game I need to bring back into the play. Ooh, boy, that was close. Those rockets, they go on for a while. Obviously, they don't have like a kill timer or anything. Yeah. I really need to get back to the Silent Hill 2 playthrough and kind of complete that. I feel like that would have better commentary than what I'm providing here. Don't get me wrong, this game is fun, but like when it comes to stuff to talk about when I am playing it, there's not a whole lot to say that isn't already said just by playing it. You know. Whereas with Silent Hill 2, that's a controversial but that's just the game, I guess. I don't condone any violence against anybody, or mass shootings or whatever. Especially in church, that's just disgusting. I also don't condone glitching out in the middle of public, which you'll see a couple of these guys do here and there. I have a video, I remember the first time it happened to me, it was on that ostrich level. Or maybe it wasn't the ostrich level, I think it was in the Tokyo level. One of the police officers, they got stuck on some geometry or something like that, and they just started spazzing out in the middle of the level. It was super weird. I had to videotape it for the guys. Especially my friend Clark. He loves this game. Loves this game, the whole series, really. And I'm not gonna lie, I think I knew about this game before he talked about it and stuff, but I definitely feel like I've learned a lot more about it through him. Not story-wise, I did that on my own, but here's a little Easter egg, by the way, just to get off topic. So these guys are all protesters against violent video games, right outside the office of Running with Scissors, which is the developer or publishing company, I don't know what you call it, the guys who made this game. So, kind of a neat little Easter egg there. But anyway, going back to my buddy Clark, he knows like a butt ton about Running with Scissors, and the games and stuff. He has like the stuff from the company and whatnot, like the t-shirts and all the merch. Sorry, my nose is a little stuffed up at the moment. But yeah, he has like the I Regret Nothing t-shirt from Postal 2. He has all the games as far as I'm aware. In fact, he was super excited about Postal 4. I don't think he had much luck getting it working on his computer. I don't know if it's a really high graphics intensive game. I mean, I was able to play through it just fine on my desktop, but I don't know. For his situation, he wasn't really able to play it that much, so hopefully it gets fixed up. Maybe it's just because it's in an early build. Because on those settings, it runs fantastic. Regardless, it works well just in any graphics mode. But I find it, it's a better experience when you run in low graphics, because that's how Postal 2 looks basically. Maybe a little less defined. But man, we're already done with this area. Let me go ahead and check out the box and stuff and see if there's any items I'm missing. Wow, these levels are just going by super fast. We'll take care of those barrels. I'm making this video a little bit longer this time, because my last few videos have been kind of short, so, definitely wanted to put a little more time into getting this game done and stuff. That way we can go ahead and jump over to Silent Hill 2 and Metroid Prime. Not that I'm not having fun with this game. I love playing through Postal, whether it be on this or on my phone. Which, in case you didn't know, you can get this game on your phone for Android. I don't know about iOS, but on Android you can download the Amazon App Store, and you can download it through that. So, pretty neat. I think it's I don't know if it's free or if it's like $5. It's been so long since I've gotten it. But I play it like, you know, when I'm super bored and stuff. Definitely a fun time waster. Anywho, next level. The city. That is a very disturbing background. 102197. I am the Celestial Guardian. Oh, Gardener. Policing the planet of the stink, weeds, and poisons which leak out even through the cracks in the cold asphalt sidewalks of the city of Sin. I probably butchered that, but whatever. Anywho, now we're in this giant city. This is like one of 3 city areas, I think. Technically, the parade one was a city level, but there's another one that we'll be coming across after this one, which is like the Tokyo level, which used to be exclusive to the Japanese version of the game called Super Postal. By the way, I mentioned that in an earlier, or in like last week's video, that there's a PlayStation version of this game that was released in Japan. That is not true. I actually did a little more research on that. There was never a PlayStation version. There was a Japanese exclusive version for a long time called Super Postal. But, yeah, it wasn't for PlayStation. It was just for PC. And as far as, you know, that game's differences from this game, really there's no differences now. In fact, the version that you get nowadays has all the levels from all the different versions of the game, which I give serious credit to the Running with Scissors guys on that, because that's the kind of stuff that I expect from all my games. I hate region lock games and stuff like that. I think that's the biggest waste of time, and it's also a serious mood killer for like those serious fans and stuff. It doesn't make you want to continue buying. Well, in my opinion, it doesn't make me want to continue buying products and stuff from them. Ooh, automatic shotgun. I'll show that later. But anyway, yeah. There's something I can talk about. So, Shenmue 3 just came out not too long ago. Sorry to talk about another game, but I might as well bring this up. This is something a little more exciting to talk about, I'd say. Shenmue 3 just came out, and I knew that it wasn't going to be like an Xbox One release anytime soon. I knew it wasn't going to be released for Xbox One. They've been saying that for a while. But I'm very disappointed regardless. I think that would have been a massive cash grab for those guys. I know why they didn't do it, but look at all the guys running out of the porno theater. That's terrible. But yeah, you know, Shenmue 2 was released on the Xbox, the original Xbox. So I'm a little disappointed that they didn't take that into consideration when looking through, like, oh, what are we going to release it for? I get that the Yakuza games have a huge, like, presence on the PlayStation, which, by the way, Yakuza is just another Sega franchise, but it's very similar to Shenmue, so. I mean, it makes sense that they released it on PlayStation 4, but to release it on PlayStation 4 and PC and just completely skip out on the Xbox One, at least release it on the Switch or something. Now, granted, I'm not complaining because I don't have a PlayStation or whatever. I have PS4, I have Xbox One, Switch, you know, even obviously PC. But I feel like Shenmue is best played on the Xbox, because the Xbox to me feels like the successor to the Dreamcast, which is what both the original games came out on. The Xbox version of Shenmue 2, that was a port. But regardless, that's where it was. And to see them just completely ignore the Xbox, the one that kept that franchise going in America, I don't know, it just kind of bums me out. I don't really know the reasoning behind why they did that, but you know, I hope that there's an Xbox release later on down the road, but until that release comes out, you know, that's a game that I'm willing to skip out on. Because again, I hate region locks and stuff like that. Like, you know, they'll release a game in like Japan or something like that, and we won't get it here in America. Now, granted, nowadays most of that stuff doesn't happen. I mean, there's still region-based games and stuff, but for the most part, you know, a lot of that stuff was back when older games were coming out, like console game or cartridge games and stuff like that were coming out. Nowadays, it's pretty easy to get those games, but I think I'm going off topic. Sorry, I had a little to drink before the stream. The point is, with like Shenmue, I feel like limiting it to PlayStation and PC, it just seems like a slap to the face to the people that, you know, granted, I don't know what the situation was with them, you know, releasing it on, or not releasing it on Xbox was to begin with, but like, I feel like they could have at least acknowledged the fact that Xbox brought a lot of those Sega franchises, you know, into the light again. Because around the time the Xbox came out, Dreamcast was pretty much dead. And all the sequels to those Dreamcast games that they had planned, they were either ported for the American versions of them, or they were just flat out released on the Xbox, which is great. I feel like that was a really smart move for Microsoft, not only, but also, you know, that was weird. I'm walking through the building. I feel like that was a smart move for Sega as well, just to keep them going and stuff. Now, granted, a lot of Sega games also got released on other consoles, but I feel like their presence was bigger on Xbox. Xbox was like, you know, the home for those systems. Let me go ahead and jump to the next level real quick before I continue. Central Park, 10/21/97. No day in the park. Too much of the blood on me is mine. But the day is not done, and I have miles to go to make them sleep. Peanuts, anyone? Actually, peanuts sound really good right now. But we got rockets coming out, so... Anyway, yeah, so... I feel like them just ignoring the Xbox One is kind of a lame thing. I don't know if it's because they've got a grudge against Xbox or something. Everybody seems to hate Xbox. And I'm not saying that Xbox doesn't have its faults and stuff. They definitely have their faults. But like, I don't know. I feel like limiting it to certain consoles is just kind of a... I don't even know the word to say for that. I just find it kind of disappointing that people are willing to go out of their way to, you know, do that kind of stuff. Because it's not like they're ran by Sega or anything anymore. They have free reign. And if they want to make more money for Shenmue and stuff, just in that specific case, I feel like the Xbox would be a really good place to go. You've got more fans on the Xbox, because those people played Shenmue too. I mean, I don't know how big the fan base for Shenmue is to begin with, but I know that it's got a big enough following. And I'm sure the American audience is going to recognize it more on Xbox, so... I don't know if it was like a deal with Sony, or if it was a deal with just fudging over Xbox, or Microsoft for that matter. I don't know. It just bugs me. I guess I kind of wanted to bring that up, just to kind of break the monotonous talk of this game and stuff. Not to say that this game doesn't have anything to talk about. I mean, it's just that I've pretty much talked about everything that I can with this game. Apart from, you know, all the ladies wearing yellow shirts coming out of the ladies' room, and the guys with the white shirts coming out of the men's room. That's kind of weird.
They never liked you.
But, yeah. Anywho,
They never liked you.
definitely ticks me off that it's not coming out to Xbox. I guess that's just the best way to put it. I'm just ticked off that they ignored a company that essentially kept those wow, that was a heat-seeking missile apparently. That ignored keeping, or ignored a company that kept them alive and stuff. Now, granted, with Shenmue 3, it was privately made and stuff. They started a Kickstarter and stuff, but that adds even more frustration to it. Oh, that guy has a flamethrower. He's a flame bionicle. If anybody remembers those things were cool back in the day. But anywho, yeah, I don't know. I know that it was a Kickstarter thing, but that also makes me upset because a lot of those people that kickstarted it, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure when I signed up for it, and a lot of people don't read this kind of stuff either. A lot of people are expecting that system, or expecting that game to come out for all systems. I don't know how that worked with this one, but we'll see. I can look into that later on. But I'm pretty sure that there were a lot of people expecting an Xbox release, or at least an eventual Xbox release. It doesn't sound like they want to release it at all. I mean, yeah, there's those little rumors that they're like, oh yeah, we're kind of hinting at doing an Xbox release. But they didn't launch with a release like that. What would be the point of releasing an Xbox version now? I mean, unless you're doing like another Shenmue compilation, which, again, adds more frustration to that. Because they released Shenmue 1 and 2 for Xbox and PlayStation, and PC as well. But they didn't release Shenmue 3 for it. What gives? What is their massive hate for the Xbox, man? Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm going, like, way off topic. I'm just venting, I guess. Looks like we got 8 people left here. But yeah, I'll end on this. I'll just say this. I wish that I really hope that they end up releasing the game for Xbox at some point. Not for just the fact that I'm complaining about it, but for all the people that supported the game over the years here in America. It's sad to see that all these people that bought it on the original Xbox and stuff, the Shenmue 2 that is, all those people that bought it aren't going to be able to, continue on with it. Because naturally, if you bought an original Xbox, I feel like that's kind of the route people went. They kind of stuck with the original Xbox. Or maybe it's vice versa. Maybe they switched over to the PS3. I don't know. Either way, I stuck with the Xbox and stuff, and I feel like the games were a lot better for the Xbox. Not to say that I don't like PS2 and stuff. The thing is, like, as a collector, I've come to realize that a lot of games, like, on the PS2 and stuff, I never got to grow up with those, so, a lot of those games were out of my reach. I actually had a long grudge with PS2 for a really stupid reason, for that matter. There was a kid that I went to the birthday party of back in the day, and he wouldn't let me play his PS2. He let all of his friends who were there play that PS2, but he wouldn't let me play it for some really dumb, weird reason. And it ticked me off. I took my anger out on Sony, which is why for the longest time I didn't want anything to do with Sony. I wanted to I basically boycotted them. I mean, yeah, there were TVs and stuff that I'm sure that I watched movies and stuff on, and I probably watched a lot of their movies too. But, as far as their game consoles go, no, I never wanted a PlayStation, and I detested people who had PlayStations at the time. Real quick, let me go ahead and skip to the next level. I'll probably end this video on that one, but then I'll go ahead and, I don't know, I might make another video tonight. We'll see. But, next level. The Industrial Complex. 10/21/97. Man, the 21st is like a really long day. Feast upon the frozen images of molten massacre as the machineries of of death grind relentlessly, mindlessly on. Yeah, sounds about right. Ooh, it's a top-down one. Anyway, man, what was I talking about? I don't even remember at this point. Sorry. It'll probably come back to me. But anyway, we'll go ahead and switch over to the next topic, because I don't want it to be a negative topic about game developers and stuff. They have to make their money somehow, and I don't blame them. You know, as somebody who's wanting to learn how to get into the game business and stuff like that, you know, eventually I'm going to have to learn these business practices. Granted, you know, I'm willing to promise that if and when I do become a video game designer or whatever, and start making my own games to sell, if the opportunity arises, I would definitely sell my games on as many consoles as I could. Because again, keeping it just exclusive to one console market, I feel like kind of weakens your profits, because you're reaching only one specific group of people. Granted, you know, if you're doing physical copies, it makes a little more sense, because it costs a lot of money to make discs and stuff for games. But like with digital releases, I don't find any excuse for that. That's just petty, being petty and stuff. So, I don't know. Granted, Shenmue, for example, that I know is getting, or has gotten a physical release. But with other games like indie games and stuff like that, releasing it on one system just seems kind of dumb. Especially as an indie developer. That seems like a very, what's the word? Uneconomic thing to do, because you're missing out on a whole section of profit, I guess. Because there's a lot of people that play Xbox, there's a lot of people that play PlayStation. Switch is kind of hit or miss. I feel like Switch is kind of one of those systems that's more for a younger generation and stuff. But at the same time, you know, there's still people that play it, and I'm sure they want to play those games just as badly too. Not everybody's willing to go out of their way to buy multiple systems. That's just dumb to assume that. Now, if you're a collector and you have expendable income, you know, clearly there's going to be people who are going to go for it. But don't expect people to just go out of their way to get multiple consoles. Now, granted, that's probably not on their mind. They're probably thinking that they're all PlayStation exclusive people or whatever, which is a pretty fair assumption as well. But, I don't know. It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Let's go ahead and try out that auto shotgun. So, essentially, the auto shotgun is just like a machine gun version of the original shotgun. As far as I'm aware, it uses the same ammo as the normal shotgun, which is really helpful. I know in Postal Redux, they changed it. They actually give you green shells, which are represented there. You'll see green kind of coming out of my gun. But they use the same ammo and stuff, which is helpful because you don't have to worry about looking for specific ammo. But at the same time, you also got to worry about not being able to get the right ammo. Or you gotta worry about your other machine gun, or your other shotgun not being able to be reloaded and stuff. I'm catching myself on fire like a dang idiot. I'm playing very recklessly here. I really don't need to. But anywho, I'm doing pretty good with ammo, and there's a lot of shotgun ammo just on the map, so I'm not too worried. I definitely feel like this is the weapon to use on like later levels. Specifically, the, well, I guess I can't say what level it is, because that's going to be coming up soon. And that's a story point, too. But, it definitely comes into play later, when I'm going against harder, bad guys and stuff like that. Or harder armed forces. Guess I can't really call them bad guys, because I'm the bad guy here. But yeah. We have 3 people left on this level. I'm kind of debating on whether I should make another video after this tonight. Not to say that I'm not going to be making any more videos on this, but you know, it is kind of late. I don't want to keep doing this up. So, I don't know. Maybe in the next video will be kind of quick. It depends on what the next level is. If it's like close to the last level, then I'll probably do it. Because the sooner I get done with this game, the sooner I can go ahead and jump over to the older games I was playing. We'll go ahead and take care of that. Oh, my surrounding. Anywho, that's pretty much this level. I'm just looking around for health because I lost a lot in this level. There's a lot of flame barrels here, so it's easy to lose health pretty quickly. But yeah, I think that's all the health pickups I can get. I'm not gonna spend too much time on that. What is the next level? Air Force Base. Oh wow, we really are on the last few levels, aren't we? Okay, I might make another level, or another video after this. Let me go ahead and read this description. Air Force Base, 10/22/97. We're finally out of the 21st. From the halls of the Vatican to the runways of truth, we are there, at the place called Climax, and the time called now. When it's done, let the gods sort it out. So this is where this whole game has kind of been leading to. Now, in the next video, I'll go ahead and, I guess I'll go ahead and explain what's going on. As at this point, it's pretty much just been, you know, going from one part of the city to the next, just killing mindlessly and stuff. We do have an actual objective, and the main objective was to get to this area. But I'll go ahead and explain that in the next video, if I make it. I gotta check the time. Actually, what time is it now? It is 12:23. There's 45 people in this area. It might have to wait till next week. Sorry, guys. I don't know. I'll kind of think about it for the next few minutes. But anywho, if I don't, you guys have a fantastic day, night, whatever. I'm sorry to ramble on and stuff and all that, but, you know, it definitely adds more to the commentary. I feel like just talking about this game, you know, granted, it's nice to talk about the game and stuff. I feel like with a game like this, it's pretty much one and done on the first episode. And, you know, any more to say about it would be best to be saved on the last episode. But, you know, I thought tonight I might add a little bit of just, you know, commentary on the news and stuff like that. Gaming news, nothing political or anything like that. That's definitely not what this stream is about. But, or not stream, video series is about. But, yeah. So, you know, the Shenmue thing, that was kind of a big deal to me. I feel like that's, you know, to me it's kind of unfair. But, you know, I might think of other things to talk about in the next video, but the next video is going to be a lot more about the story of this game and stuff, or at least what's going on in the game, because now we're at a pretty pivotal point in this game. This is what it's all been leading to and stuff. It's not necessarily the last level. I think we've got 2 or 3 more after this, but this is definitely like the original game's last level. So, everything that, you know, your character's been building up to and stuff, this is where it ends. But anyway, like I said, have a good day, night, whatever. You guys take it easy.